joining us this morning is Caddo Parish Sheriff-elect Henry Whitehorn Sr. Congratulations. We just heard the ADA for Caddo Parish Assistant District Attorney, that was Ross Owen, basically talking about a grassroots effort. He started a video earlier in March that had been shared hundreds of times. It was viewed thousands of times. And so it was a grassroots effort for this historic win. What do you have to say about this historic win? You are a man of many firsts. The first black police chief for SPD, the first black commander for LSP. You were appointed by President Barack Obama for the marshal, federal marshal for the Western District, and now the first black parish for Caddo Parish.
I try not to focus on being the first black. I want to be known as the person that made a difference. Everybody knows my qualifications, so it's not about being the first black, although I am. Now, I need to correct you on one thing. I was not the first black state police superintendent.
Okay.
That was Terry Landry.
Terry Landry, okay.
Yes, Terry Landry was the first. But, you know, I've always tried to do my best and just be prepared for these opportunities when they come. And God has prepared me for this opportunity.
Curious about election night. Nicholson conceded before those absentee ballots came in, 25,000 plus votes. What did he tell you that night specifically, and why do you think they made the decision so early to concede the race?
I think everybody was crunching the numbers. My team was crunching numbers, his team were crunching numbers. We knew the early vote numbers were in. He had a team there, I had a team there. And basically, you know, he called me to congratulate me on the victory and to wish me well in my endeavors as the next sheriff of Caddo Parish.
When you look at the money of what was raised between the two campaigns, Nicholson outraised the Whitehorn campaign. However, people would say that the grassroots effort is what got you elected, and basically people just getting to know Henry Whitehorn Sr.
Yes, our entire campaign was a grassroots campaign. We knew we didn't have the mega donors, but we wanted to make sure that we had enough money to win the race, and that's what we focused on, making sure that we could consolidate as much as we could. We didn't have all the technology that we wanted, but we were able to bring people that wanted to volunteer because they knew how important this was, and a lot of people just volunteered their time.
We want to get to some of the things you want to do in the future, but we want to get your reaction to this. Multiple times throughout the campaign, Nicholson claimed you made the race about race. Just want to get your response to that.
We were not the first to bring up race in this issue. I think, I don't know exactly how it came about, but we were never focused on race. We were focusing on winning the race.
Also, you were focused every time there was, you know, a press conference or a news conference about the one vote victory, question mark. I think in your victory speech, and everybody went crazy when you said, we didn't win by just one vote, we won by thousands of votes.
Yes.
What inspired people to get out to have that number at 4,000 that separated?
Over 4,000, yeah.
You know, we always talk about making our voices heard. We fought hard to have a right to vote, and when that one vote was taken, I think this community felt that it was an injustice, not just in the black community, but I got calls from white citizens as well, friends of mine, people that were concerned that I was not treated fairly. 50 plus 1 has always been the case, and in this instance it was not. And so I think a lot of people felt that the election was taken, and they didn't want that to happen again.
As we saw with the video with Ross Owen, who obviously he's white, do you think that this election brought unity? And I say that because when I was talking to Ross, we talked about race, we talked about political affiliation, and how many Republicans crossed over to support you because it wasn't about race, black and white, it was about experience.
That's correct. And I've always tried to be a unifier. And I was so happy to see Ross and the videos that he put out. I was unaware that he was even doing them until I saw the first one. And it just kind of touched my heart. But I've always tried to unify. And that is my plan for this community, is to bring this community together so that we can get on with the business of public safety.
You said that the election was stolen in November. Do you think the judge made a mistake in ruling that there needed to be a new election? Do you think the law is wrong?
I think what I said is the community felt it was stolen. And so I think that energized this community to get out and fight. And, you know, I respect the courts and what they did. So, you know, certainly I was disappointed, but I was not discouraged.
It has been an exhausting year for both campaigns. This started in the summer. Finally, it's come to an end. Many people say, what's next to making this community safer? As SPD chief, you said that you brought down crime. How can we do this at a time where we really, really need to get crime under control?
You know, the violent crime is the issue right now. We're seeing so much violent crime. And I've worked with Chief Smith in the past. We've had communications. And I know that we can work together as a team, bringing these other law enforcement agencies on board, working with us. We just got to have some concerted efforts. Now, before we can do that, we've got to have a place to put them. And so that's why I'm focused on working with state and federal authorities to get some of these DOC inmates out of the way so that we can have a concentrated effort like we've done in the past and focus on certain individuals that's out there committing these crimes so we can put them where they don't have, you know, you can't get out, you know.
So clarification on that, because, you know, all over social media it was like, oh, you know, it's going to be 500 inmates released. And you were saying you don't even have the authority to do that.
No, absolutely not. What my plan is to work with Department of Corrections and the United States Marshals and stop taking those inmates into our lockup facilities. DOC house more state inmates in local jails than they do in the state facilities. And so we need to move some of those inmates into DOC, open up our bed space so that we can put the violent criminals that's here in Caddo Parish locked up where they don't just walk back on the street. But we don't have space for that. We're going to have to work together and make that happen.
All right.
And I have a plan for it.
Thank you so much, Caddo Parish. Sheriff-elect Henry Whitehorn, thank you again for joining us this morning.
Thank you.